How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk about losing everything in crypto, even in stocks, honestly. And I I realize a lot of people have done this. Someone that I watch a lot, he was just talking about how this has happened to him as well. And I want to talk about what we can do going forward because so many people have lost so much money. And I think there's something that's happened in the past, a study that shows really what you need to focus on when we're going through times like this. Also, we'll cover some of the top news. So if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I appreciate that. I do want to thank BlockFi. There's a link to this underneath the video. When you use that link, you can get up to a $250 bonus when you start depositing. A great place to put your crypto, especially when so many people are fearful of DeFi. So definitely consider signing up for that. I do want to thank MooMoo too, but I'll talk more about that towards the end. They are giving you some free stock and more free stock on top of what they normally give because of a deal that I've made with them. So definitely be on the lookout for that. There's a link to that underneath the video as well. Now, the crypto market's looking better here today. The whole market is up about 3%. We do have some interesting volumes or some interesting numbers coming in from what large institutions were just buying and selling, which we'll talk more about later. But what really struck my attention here today was I was watching Larry Jones. And if you haven't seen his channel, definitely check it out. Great guy with really good advice. Now, of course, I'm not giving advice. He's not giving financial advice. But he talked about how he lost all his money in stocks a while ago in one of the last recessions. And he had put in a lot of money in a penny stock, hadn't done research, didn't really know the risks and rewards and everything that went along with that. He just blindly put money in and then realized that after the fact, when he lost a lot of it, that wasn't probably the best way to invest. And he said that he realized himself that he was the reason that he lost all this money. It wasn't because of the market, because the market's going to ebb and flow. It was the way that he was approaching investing. And I recently lost a lot of money in the UST debacle. Not everything by any means, but it was definitely the largest hit that I've ever taken. And a lot of other people got hit even harder. A lot of investors had everything in Terra or in Luna, in UST. A lot of people remortgaged their houses. A lot of people didn't invest in Luna at all, but they've had this happen with other cryptocurrencies or even Bitcoin. Maybe they bought at the top at $70,000 or maybe they went on leverage. There's so many different things that can happen that make people lose a significant amount of money. A lot of stocks have fallen down 60, 70, 80, 90% as well. And I think there's one study that we can take a look at that happened a few years ago that is really interesting. This is a study conducted by Fidelity. And they were taking a look at which accounts had done best at Fidelity. What they found was that the people that did the best were dead. So this is kind of crazy at first. You think this can't be true. And these were just accounts that fell through the cracks. They were from people that just hadn't touched their accounts in years. And that's why they did the best, because they weren't trying to time the market. They weren't putting in larger dollar cost averages at sometimes, or trying to buy the dips, or buying the next hot stock or crypto or whatever it was. They just bought and hold. They just bought and held the cryptos and stocks, really just stocks that they had bought before, and they just held them for a while because they were not there to change it. So I think that is something that we can take a look at and really think, okay, moving forward, do we really want to be trying to time the market? No, right? We should be dollar cost averaging, or maybe just being consistent with whatever investing principles we're using. Now, some people are waiting to buy the dip here for a while. They're continuously waiting. They haven't jumped in, or maybe they went even more cash or something like that. That's not what I'm doing right now. I think we are at very oversold levels. If you look at Bitcoin specifically, just because we have talked about crypto a lot on the channel recently, you can see Bitcoin sold off and is in the red for 8 weeks in a row. This has never happened. The last time that it had fallen down anywhere close to this was 6 weeks in a row. And we had never seen 7 weeks in a row, and then we've never seen 8 weeks. So it just continuously is oversold. Of course, we're in different times. There's a lot of things that are happening that are outside of our control, and crypto's really never gone through a recession or anything like that. it came to be when we were coming out of the 2008 recession. So we don't know how it's going to react in a recession. It can always fall further. The only thing that we know is that things that we don't know will happen, right? There's always going to be something crazy that happens, a black swan event that will cause crypto to fall or stocks to fall, but over time they will recover. And I think that's something to remember here, right? Even large institutions really are kind of confused right now. If we look at the last couple weeks of inflows, we saw a large amount of inflows, not this last week, but the week before. Now we're seeing a bunch of outflows. So a lot of money is coming out of Bitcoin right after it flew into Bitcoin. We have a lot of money going to multi-asset. So there is just this overwhelming sense that the big institutions don't really know which way they want to play it. Do they want to buy the dips or do they want to sell off? There are a lot of retail investors now that have run out of money or they've lost a lot of money. But again, all we have to remember is if we're investing in good assets, holding them long term, we will be fine over the long term. Day to day, it's hard to remember this, but long term, we're going to make a lot of money. And I think it's just important to remember that if you've lost a lot of money, just to continue investing. Like the worst thing that can happen is you lose a lot of money and then you get out of the market completely, never start investing again, or maybe you hold cash or something like that. You're not going to be able to retire on cash. Usually when fear is highest is a good time to be buying. And it seems like there's a lot of fear. Now, of course, we can always fall down further, which is why I said the dollar cost average. But I think when there's blood in the streets, you want to nibble at least a little bit. But of course, this isn't financial advice. This is just telling you what I'm doing. And I think you really do have to focus on continuously investing or staying in the game at least, right? So many people have stopped watching YouTube videos because they're just not investing anymore. They don't care about investing anymore after the last couple of years. But we will return, and those people will get right back into the market when we're racing to all-time highs, right? So many people will line up to buy Bitcoin at 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, but they don't want to buy now because they're too fearful. So let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. I do want to thank MooMoo because they're giving you a special offer, so I'll tell you about that here just for a second. Now, before we go any further, I actually have an extra bonus for you if you sign up with MooMoo. They allow you to get a lot of information right on one specific stock. You can see here, obviously, you can see quotes. There's news. I get up-to-date news on whatever stock I want to look at. Right now, I'm looking at CleanSpark, one of my favorite miners. I can get detailed analysis from short sell analysis and price versus short interest to technical indicators, whether we're overbought, oversold, fundamental indicators. I can take a look at what analysts are saying and the target price of different analysts. And one other thing is you can even take a look at the ETFs that hold it in the percent changes recently, which makes it really easy because all this stuff is in one place. So right now, if you use the link underneath the video, you can get up to 5 free stocks plus a free share of Twitter. All you have to do is deposit $2,000 or more and keep it on the platform for 30 days. Now, this is an exclusive new bonus. It's not going to be here very much longer, so I would highly suggest clicking the link underneath the video. Thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. Check out the links to MooMoo and BlockFi, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.